Surprise, surprise! Part 2 of Dokkan's 10th anniversary brings us EZA and LR Goku, full power Frieza, and over 100 Dragon Stones. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we have the details for the EZA, for the INT, Namek Goku, and full power Frieza, as well as some surprising revelations on what's to come here in the next couple of days. Global Dokkan and JP Dokkan have gone ahead and tweeted out the EZA details, so we're going to be going over those in this video, as well as talking about a few things that are going to be happening between now, the reveals of the Part 2 LRs later tonight, and what's to come before the banners drop here around the 14th or 15th. So let's start with what everybody's really here for, the EZA details for the Namek Goku and full power Frieza. So Namek Goku jumps up to a 180% lead for both Super Saiyans and Legendary Existence. It's actually a really nice lead when you put it all together. Because obviously we know how broken Super Saiyans is as a category, so having just having a 180 when 200% is not available is really nice. He has key 3, attack and defense 200%, damage reduction rate 20%, that's permanently. He has key 1 up to 3 at the start of each turn, so that'll help him get that 18 key. After receiving an attack, he launches an additional attack for 4 turns. For every attack received, he gets key 1 up to 3 and attack and defense 20% up to 59%. He also has attack 59% and damage reduction rate 30% while in slot 1. While in slot 2 or 3, he has attack 100% and launches an additional super attack. See, now that is really good because before it was a 50% chance. Now it is a guaranteed additional super attack. So this is really good when building up on that turn 1. For 6 turns, he has guards all attacks, so that'll make up for the turns where you don't, until he gets that defense build. And then he has a attack 59% when facing an extreme class enemy, along with a high chance of performing a critical hit. And when there is a Frieza enemy, he has a guaranteed critical hit. So really nice, actually. So all things considered, really good. He is a stacking unit, and none is more apparent than the way they sort of designed them. So they gave him everything he needed to kind of safely build up, right? On his 18 key, he is greatly raising attack and defense, right? So having both that attack and defense, because before it was just the attack, or on the 18 key, and the defense on the 12, so you always prioritize the 12. Now it is attack and defense on the 18 key, and then defense on the 12. And having it be a greatly raise is incredibly useful for the unit. It's going to help the unit just kind of peak higher in terms of defense. It's going to help him build defense real quick, right? And then we can kind of see that here, right? So shout out to Howard for posting up the defense calc, right? So you can see the defense calc. Once he gets that without support, right, just in general in slot 2, he's getting up to 400k for 450k defense, which doesn't seem like a lot, but he's also got guard and 30% damage reduction. But once he receives that attack, so that assumes slot 1, he's got an additional super attack there, and then so this is actually without proccing the second super attack. Okay. So I don't even know why this would matter, because none of those have it unless it's in slot 3. So after receiving an attack, 682k with guard and damage reduction, fully built up, right? So once he's built up all that extra attack and defense, he's got the 2 supers, whether that's in slot 1 or in slot 2. He is getting up to 900k, all right, in slot 2 or 3 with a guaranteed additional super attack, up over 1 million, so that's including the hidden potential. All right, once he's built up 6 times, right, so he's going to be doing 6 supers in a turn, really, right? That's realistically what you're going to be seeing out of him. or I'm sorry, he's going to be doing roughly 3 to 4 in a turn, up to 6 by turn 2, meaning, you know, by turn 2, he's going to have been fully built up, and we're talking about a unit with over 2 million defense with damage reduction and guard still, right? And anything beyond this turn, right? Once, because remember, these are permanent stacks, so once he hits that number, he's at that number forever. So, you know, by turn 2 and 3, he's over 2 million defense with his extra damage reduction, more than enough for once that guard goes away. So really, really good there. Let's hop on over and let's take a look at the Frieza. So the Frieza is now Sworn Enemies, Namek Saga, Key 3, Attack and Defense, 180%. Neither one is a really fun category to run, but it's there if you need it. He's got Key 3 and Attack and Defense 200% with a damage reduction rate of 20%, same as the Goku. And at the start of his turn, Key 1 up to 3. So mirroring the Goku once again, right? They were designed to be mirrors of each other, right? So it makes sense there. He has attack defense 50%, launches an additional super attack for 4 turns, and for every attack received, he gets Key 1 up to 3, damage reduction rate 7% up to 20%. So this is interesting. So he builds attack and defense, so he builds damage reduction upon getting hit. That's kind of cool. As the first attacker in a turn, he has an extra damage reduction rate 30%. As the second or third attacker in a turn, he has an extra attack and a guaranteed additional super attack. For 1 turn from his entry turn, he has guaranteed guard and attack and defense 150%. For the first 6 turns, starting from the 7th turn, he has attack 100%. And then when there is a super class enemy, he has 100% attack and with a 50% chance of performing a critical hit, and when facing any character who includes the name Goku, he has a guaranteed critical hit. So again, mirroring the Goku. So you can definitely see Frieza is designed to be more offensive, while Goku is designed to be more defensive. Now, on the super attack effect, he's now greatly raising it. They're basically the same. Greatly raising, both 18 keys now both greatly raise attack and defense, and then Frieza's 12 key greatly raises attack. So again, like I said, he is designed to be that offensive monster, while having the defense necessary to sort of go toe to toe with, with some of the upper echelons of the offensive units that have been released. Like, I can definitely see him coming out the gate really strong and only getting stronger as the turns go on. For whatever reason, they seem to hold back with defense stackers, but characters who stack offense seem to go a little wild. So I can't wait to see what this guy actually looks like once he starts building up. In terms of defense, though, right? Well, once again, shout out to Halvard for putting this out, right? So just like the Goku, right? I mean, realistically, after looking at slot 2 or 3, because for the first turn, that's kind of where you're going to be putting him. For Frieza, for that first turn, by the end of that first turn, you're looking at 1.1 to 1.2 million defense here, and that's not even including the SA effect stacks, right? By turn 2, you're 1.8, assuming you get the extra supers, you're looking at a 1.8 million with that damage reduction. So, like, it's not like things are going to be bad here. In terms of defense, add on to any support that you might have with that. We're over 2 million defense by turn 2, turn 3. Like, that's really good for a stacking unit, and it's only going to get better as the turn goes on, right? So, I mean, really, there's no reason to be concerned with either one of their defenses, really. Like, turn 1, you might get caught, but once turn 1's done, like, they won't be your problem. Let's say that. Once turn 1 is done, they won't be your problem. We'll put it that way. So, outside of that, right, if we just want to hop over here, there is a lot of stuff coming in the next couple of days. In terms of content, we have, right, all of these new stages for the Tales of the Super Warrior. We have some red zones. We have the next stages of the Dokkan Chronicle. And then, of course, we have this, the return of the trading in the clouds. Now, this one's interesting because it's giving us a new item that we will be able to exchange, for things in the Baba Shop. We don't know exactly what that exchange is, but we do know it can be exchanged. Probably stones and maybe some training item. It could be other stuff. We won't know exactly until it drops. We also have a new battlefield coming, mostly focused on GT. In fact, like literally the 3 bosses you see here are all that you see. So, I mean, it seems like every weekend they're updating the Clash, which is kind of cool. Keep it fresh. I do appreciate that. So hopefully, right, so we had one that would appear, at first I thought it was just because it was Carnival LRs, but looking back on it, the first one seemed to be really focused around movies. This one seems to be focused around GT. So I'm assuming, right, the next ones will be Super and or Dragon Ball Z themed. So really interesting there. In terms of that, I mean, there wasn't much else in the data download other than just the assets and information for the upcoming stages, which again, well, okay, we did get the Tech Piccolo, and I believe the Trunks is, oh no, he's not. No, the Piccolo, the Demon King Piccolo is Fizz, AGL, and then the Trunks is Fizz. And of course, we know that the Trunks is a TUR, who is going to be a tag unit, and then the DKP is going to awaken into the LR for the celebration. Now, we don't, this is, for some reason, they're delaying what they do. So, right, normally we would already have these by part 1, but for here, we're only having them awaken here. It makes me think that there might be a pretty big part 3 part EX going on here, but we'll have to see what happens. So guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, what do you think of Namek Goku and Full Power Frieza's EZA? I think they are phenomenal. Goku is everything I wanted and or needed him to be, right? That extra ability to stack the defense on the 18 key is huge, because oftentimes there was, in the past, during his heyday, there was less incentive, especially, you know, because like this was like legendary Goku time. There was less incentive to get his 18 key to, and especially because, you know, you would probably mostly be throwing him in slot 2 at first, which meant you weren't really getting that attack stack that often because of the additional super. So having it on the 18 key as well is really helpful, and the guaranteed additional super. So that's just my thoughts, but let us know what you think in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.